What's up, MHA players? Today I have a fun video for you guys. I actually, a few weeks back, about a month ago or so, I asked team member Mitch, who is our best MHA player on the team, to do what I thought would just be kind of a fun informational video, sit down and tier list all of the new set 4 characters, give you guys an idea of what he's speculating is going to be some of the better characters or some of the worst ones, pure speculation. And then I was surprised when a few weeks passed, I didn't have the video, and I found out that we had a little bit of a miscommunication, and he was doing you guys all one better, a few steps better, I would say. Instead of just speculating on the characters, Mitch sat down and he built what he thought could be the best possible deck for every single character and played all of them, play-tested every single character coming out, including the main set, the promo characters, the DLC characters, and he went ahead and just built out a tier list for you all of what he thought the relative strength were of all of these set 4 League of Villains MHA characters. So that's the video we got for you today. I'm going to kick it off to Mitch. I hope you guys enjoy.
Alright, so here we go. We got all of the set 4 characters plus DLCs here ready to go for you. Got our 4 tiers. We got meta tiers. This is going to be pretty much, I think it's going to be like one of the top tier decks. It's going to be easy, seen in top 8 finishes across big events. Rogue decks. These are more along the lines of like, you're good, you'll occasionally see 1 or 2 in top 8, top 15. Nothing to write home about. Local decks. Local decks to me means like it's to be good, fun to play locals. Hard to make it a sell for competitive, consistent play. And then garbage tier. Garbage tier characters, pretty much the way I feel about them are like characters that there's no reason why I want to play them yet. It could be whether their kit is not good, their abilities aren't enough to warrant running them, or they just don't have enough support yet. This can always change, subject to change, as new cards come out, new things get added. If I make your character and put them in the wrong tier, let me know. If I mess it up or do something good, again, put it down in the comments below and let's get started. Alright, all for one. I'm going to put him right up here in Rogue. Alright, so all for one. What he does, he has the enhance, your non-throw gets plus 1 damage for every 3 foundations in your stage. Commit, discard momentum, his attack is blocked, deals no damage. Then response. At the start of a combat phase, add 1 card from momentum to your hand, then add 1 card from your hand to your momentum. So this character is really cool. He's probably my favorite character to come out of the set, and he's just one of the starter characters, so it's great. My favorite thing with him is being able to like hide momentum, whether you're saving an attack for later or you're taking carpool to work to use it for later. He does a lot of really cool things, a lot of really strong things. I think the thing that keeps him out of like the meta tier for me is the fact that he doesn't do enough of these things fast enough or better than other people. He plays a lot of similar cards to like Ochako. Same thing like similar to Midnight. Again, great character, a lot of fun. This response here does a lot of like fun mind games for your opponent too. And then also being able to get just free tuck away, carpool to work is a wonderful feeling. Alright, next up we got All Might number 6. Alright, so I'm putting this guy right in the garbage. So he's not a garbage character per se by himself, but the way your deck gets designed and built to make him work just makes it less consistent than other decks. Alright, let's go over what he does first. He's enhance. Discard the top card of your deck. This puncher for your attack gets plus X damage. X equals the block modifier of discard card. So this wants you to play your deck with higher block mods, which makes your ability to block attacks harder. It's a rough sell to do that kind of stuff when you're trying to block 2 or 3 attacks in one turn. And then getting between 1 to 3 damage off of this, it's not consistent and it's rough. And if you want to get the most damage out of this, you have to run a lot of 3 diff blocks. He has cards in his own kit that make it better for him, but you have to find them. Again, it's not that it's consistent, and it's going to be a toss-up of how much damage you get out of this. Once per turn, remove one momentum, add the top card to pile to your hand. This is a good enhancement. Again, from just a card player perspective, this card does a lot of good value stuff. It's just not enough to make it warrant playing against anything else in these symbols. So like in good, you play different All Might. In all, you play different All Might. In order, get different All Mights do certain things better. I like characters that specialize and not just do like broad appeal. So there's response, the last card in the year. Response commit, after you block an attack, draw 2 cards, you one. Again, all these enhances, they're all good. They're all great. It's just this top one makes you design your deck in a way that you usually don't want to do. And if you're not trying to maximize this, you're just better playing somebody else. Alright, Dobby 2. This one might make people a little questionable or upset with me here. I think Dobby 2 goes in a local, maybe, yeah, put him in local. I'd say he's not garbage, he's local. Again, Dobby 2, 7 hand size, 19 health, all chaos fire. As the enhance of your turn, move top of the cards of your deck, your attack gets +3 damage. Enhance, once per turn, your turn. Remove 1 action from your hand, add 1 that shares 2 or more symbols of this character from each card pile to your hand. This guy packs a ton of damage. He will kill you in like 1 turn even. He just packs a lot of damage. His biggest problem is he just dies. You look at him wrong and he's dead. He just stiff breeze and knock him right over. I've played a few different versions of Dobby, and again, if your opponent can survive against you, you're gonna end up killing yourself here if you do this enough. And on fire has no defense. Fire, again, it just dies real fast. Under chaos has a little bit of defense, but again, the big problem is you just have no way to survive long enough to make Dobby worthwhile. When you have characters like Tokiyami or Midnight and Chaos that can play defense a lot better, it's kind of rough. I think All might be one of the better symbols played in, because All has a lot more defense in terms of like specialist of sound and stuff like that. But again, he just dies. He dies real fast. You can turn 2 people, but they can turn 2 right back with decks that you really shouldn't be able to. Alright. That's to Himiko Toga 2. This one, easy, straight to the garbage. So I like what she's doing. She has a lot of unique stuff and abilities going on, being able to play the momentum. Again, it's a lot of fun to push buttons and do abilities. Her biggest problem is until you get momentum, all she does is give speed. That's it. And it's only once. So we'll go over her here quick. 6 hand size, 20 in health, first enhance. Once per turn, your turn, look at your momentum, I'll flip one of them. There's a lot of really cool things on flip. She has her 1 diff attack that just gets a ton of value of drawing 2 cards. You can do that every one of your turns. So you turn your 8 hand size character. If you have that stuff going on, Toga's great. If you get the 1 check momentum, you can do that every turn. You're living the dream. The problem then is you're running with the 1 checks, and with the 1 checks, it just makes your deck really inconsistent. It's the biggest problem, I think. Next enhance. It's your first attack this turn, it gets +2 speed. Again, that enhance is fine, but the fact that it's only for the first attack really limits the ability here. And there's other characters that can just give speed without having it to be just the first attack. Look at like Asui. Asui just commits +2 speed. Ready itself, cards out of the pool. Being able to only do this on your first attack is a little weird. Response, twice per turn. After you flip 1 momentum, you get a ready 1 flesh that's upgraded this combat phase. Again, this one does great stuff with her kit. We leave it all out with cards like Blood Evaluation, being able to ready up and then draw a card. Again, when Toga's firing, she's doing great. The biggest problem is she doesn't have time to get set up, and usually people are doing cooler things. I think if we get more consistent ways to get cards momentum, and then better momentum effects for her and her symbols, I think she could be good. But right now, it's a hard sell for me. Alright, Kirigiri. Let's go to Kirigiri 2. Alright. Kirigiri 2. He's a 5 hand size, 28 health, an air, all, and evil. Form, once per turn. Remove cards from top of your discard pile until you remove an attack. You may play that attack as your next form this turn. If you do, it gets +3 speed. This is sweet. This is so much fun to play with. There's different ways to set it up with reviewing at the end of the turn, discarding cards for abilities and your symbols or on your other attacks to make this more consistent, and this getting free +3 speed to it. Pretty much guarantees you have attack every turn. So you're a pseudo 6-hander already. And then it's response. It's a response commit. Before the block step, you may try to block this attack with a card from your discard pile. Remove that card when it leaves your card pool. So between these two, you get to pretty much pretend to be a 7-hander with 28 health. It's not quite that 7-hander size because, again, on the first turn or two, you have a 5-hand size and you're having a hard time building and getting set up. But once you get set up, a lot of cool things. I think Kirigiri's biggest problem is he can't kill anybody. Air, all, evil, not the best for adding damage to stuff outside of characters. And all, you have the all punches. All punches does a lot of work, a lot of damage. The problem with that is you have to do a certain string of attacks to get set up. With a 5-hander, it's a little hard. And evil is really fun. Evil, you get tons of breaker 2 blocks. You have 8 breaker 2 highs, you have a breaker low block, and a breaker mid block. That's been one of the more fun ones for me. Kirigiri and evil. But again, biggest problem is trying to kill people. But I've been a lot of fun with him. He's been pretty good for me so far, so I'm gonna put him up here in the rogue tier. Alright, now we got Moonfish. Moonfish, Moonfish, Moonfish. Alright, so Moonfish, let's go read him real quick for you here. So Moonfish, what he does is 7 health, 7 hand size, 18 health. An air, earth, and void. Enhance. Your attack with a printed damage of 3 or less gets +2 speed. If your rival has 3 or more cards in their hand, your attack gets +1 speed. Then enhance once per turn your turn. Discard 1 attack that dealt 3 or less damage from your card pool. Your rival discards a card. Alright. So Moonfish can do really well. Gain tons of speed and controlling your opponent's hand is really good. God, he's just so not fun to play or play against. I think I could see him here, maybe here. In symbols like Void, you get stuff, access to cool stuff like level rending to even more go on the discard focus. In Earth, you get a lot of cool 3 damage punches. And I haven't done too much of them in Air, but I like him a lot in Void. Again, his play pattern style just hasn't been the most fun, but God can control the game, and God is annoying to play against. My only thing with him is, again, he just lacks a ton of damage. But if you want, not done damage, but there's a enhance ability. But if you go on Earth, you get through all the cool punches, add a ton of damage to them, and if they ever half block, you get triggers for free. So throw in cards like Jab as a Jab. It's great. To Smash, another great one that meets the 3 damage requirement, which gets extra bonus. So you have to throw that as a 6 high for 7, or 7 high for 7 if you get the extra bonus speed. Alright, Mr. Muscles. I think Mr. Muscles belongs right here in locals. Where are we? So Mr. Muscular. He's a 5 hand size, 36 health, in Earth, Fire, and Life. He has a passive floating ability that after an attack deals damage, you get to add a muscle counter to this character. So muscle counters, what they're good for is, as I have here, enhance. Your non-throw attack gets +1 damage for each muscle counter on your character. And then response, after you take damage from an unblocked attack, build 1 card from your card pool face down. Alright, so this guy is the definition of a late game character. The further the game goes, you just become inevitable, pretty much. You're just throwing like plus 7, 8, 9 damage in all your attacks. He's a lot of fun, and like in all 3 of these symbols, he's been a lot of fun. Again, his biggest problem is he's a 5-hander with no way to get around that on his face. I think I've been having the most fun with him in life. The reason why for life is you get access to a lot of damage reduction in terms of like quick create or self-sacrifice as ways to just survive and sustain until you get to that inevitable plus 8, 7 damage per attacks. We don't need to get that high either. In life, you also get access to the really cool combo with the. Let me pull it up here so I can show you. Determined Victory Smash. So what's cool here with this one is there's a point where we can go pseudo infinite with Muscular with this card here. After he has 15 damage or more, you get to add it back to your hand. As long as you have 10 counters, you just get to throw a free 10 damage on that bad boy and bounce it back and do that until your opponent dies. When that happens, it's a lot of fun. It's really great. And there's ways in life to make it come out faster. You have a lot of 0 diffs that can add damage on there with like tight-lipped, play around my babies. Self-sack can help add more damage as well. So there's a lot of cool ways to make that work. The biggest problem I think is just surviving long enough to do cool things with Muscular. I could see going up to here, but I think for right now, the way the game is shaping up, there's just not enough time in the game for you to do the cool stuff. Alright, now we got Mr. Spinner. He's a 6 hand size, 28 health, in good, order, and void. So enhance every weapon attack gets +1 speed or +1 damage rush to the combat phase. And enhance once per turn, build 1 finish from your hand. Attack gets +2 speed. Cool note is you can do this on your opponent's turn as well, but they will get the +2 speed if you do it. Spinner's been a blast to play. A lot of fun, a lot of cool things. It's fun pushing all the fun buttons every time. It's like, I'll just do this, get to add up ramping damage, ramping speed. He feels like a different take on like the Jiro thing, or for Momo, in terms of like doing cool weapon stuff. I think Spinner's biggest problem is, again, he fills a similar space to what like good Momo was doing in terms of like being able to survive and push all the fun cool buttons and good to sustain. And I think Momo just does it better. So I probably put him maybe bottom of rogue, top of local. Alright, now we got Shigaraki 3. He is a 7 hand size, 19 health, in death, evil, order. Has the enhance. If your rival makes a check against a difficulty of 5, if they fail, draw a card. You can do that for every attack played. And that's right here what puts him on the top for me. A response. Once per turn, after rival fails, or after rival makes a check, it gets -1. Failing does not end the combat phase. And the first form. Once per game, remove 1 momentum. This rival's checks get -1 until the start of every next turn. So this even goes to your opponent's turn as well. Really great to try and survive a crackback if your kill turn doesn't quite get there. So let's talk about this. Response feels great. Enhance feels great. First form feels great. Being able to make your opponent check or draw a card on every attack feels really good. It feels really good in death. Feels really good in evil. Really good in order. The response, being able to say no, not that one. Going sake of this character feels really nice. And a lot of times it makes your opponents play around like they have a 2 check in their deck, having to go like 2, 2, 2, or they'll play the 3, check a 3, oh, in case you don't get that one this time. Being able, again, just like do this on any block they make, any attack trick they make, really helps to push and punish them. I think the biggest thing is knowing like when to do this. So like if your opponent starts off with an attack turn, plays a 5, checks a 3, a lot of the times I won't use this to help bail them out because they can choose to fail it and commit nothing and keep going with their turn. So this comes down to like a good time to use it, when to punish your opponent for it. Alright, let's go to this first form, once per game effect here. Giving your rivals checks -1 until your next turn is huge. It makes all of your attacks pseudo 1 speed faster. It makes all of your rivals attacks on a pseudo higher difficulty. This here, this ends games. This right here just ends games. So where would I put him? I would put him right up here in the meta. I think he is one of the best characters to come out of the set as of right now. It's hard for me to argue him as above him from the current set. It's just all of his draw, being able to hack check your opponent's stuff, and then that once per game to just push him over the top and go in for the kill. Alright, twice. God, I hate how it's on the wrong side of this character. It bothers me every time. Alright, so twice is a 6-hand size, 27 health, chaos, good, and water. He has the enhance, where if the second copy of this attack you've played this turn, it gets +2 speed, +2 damage. So he encourages you to play multiples of attacks. This works great with Echo and stuff like that. But again, outside of that, you have to work a little harder to get this, which again, like Toga, feels a little bad. Because again, if you don't have 2 of the same attack or Echo attack going off, you're just a blank character. And then response. Commit, discard 1 character card from your stage before the blocks of your rival's attack. Reduce damage to 2. This here is a great way to stay alive. Between his kit and good, as well as the new stuff in DLC, there's a lot of ways to consistently get his character out and into play. So this is really good, a lot of fun, and it plays really well. My biggest problem is this right here. If it would say this second copy of this attack you play this turn, second or greater, it would have been fine. But the fact that I would need to play 4 attacks to be able to do this twice, when Odro gets to do this on every attack, it just doesn't feel great. Let me tell you, it doesn't feel great at all. So because of that, he goes down here. Alright, Compress. My second favorite character this entire set, Mr. Compress. He does all of the cool stuff you want. Alright, so what he is. He's a 6-hand size, 27 health, in Air, Evil, and Void. He has a response, commit. After you block an attack, add your block to your momentum. And then a form. Lose 1 health, reveal momentum. If it is not a copy of a card you have played this turn, you may try to play it as your next form. So, mid-game, you just get to throw the same stuff over and over again. He works great with cards like Zero Gravity Lift, Electric Jolt. Cards that go momentum like that are just wonderful for him. This response commit helps you get set up with that stuff too. Being able to block your opponent's stuff with a jolt, response commit, add to momentum, flip your jolt, stun them for 1 pretty much. Well, commit will stun. You get to pick what it is, and then on your turn you get to play jolt again. This guy has a lot of fun play patterns. He's fun to play with. My biggest problem again with him is all of his cool stuff he does takes a little bit of time to get set up. And this 1 health eventually turns into real cost later on. I don't think he has enough stuff to consistently make it to top tier. But I put him at the bottom rogue. I think once people figure out a good list for him and a good slot for him, I can see him showing up. Actually, we're gonna move Moonfish down to here. I like that. Yeah, that looks better for me. Alright, now we got Innsmouth. So, he does a few cool things. Innsmouth, 6-hand size, 29 health, under Air, Evil, and Water. His response, discard 1 card. After you play a range or slam attack, it gets +3 damage. top card of each rival's deck to their card pool. Then enhance. Once per turn, discard 1 card from your rival's card pool, commit 1 Rival Foundation. So, pretty much what he does is he gets to play a similar thing to like Midoriya 2. Discard a card, give its attack damage, and in his case, pseudo speed by clogging their card pool. It's not quite the same, but really similar in playstyle effect. Enhance. This is where it gets a little different though, because then you stuff their pool, then you get rid of the stuff, and then you get to start committing on their foundations. And what's really good here is this is I commit one of theirs, so I get to pick what I want to commit. So this helps you kill defense cards like Release, Mission Completed, Deco Duplicate, stuff that really hurts your offense. This can help us get out of the way. He's been a lot of fun in Air with Airstream Driver. Get to that first now. Airstream Driver on 5, Deuce ability. Airstream Driver kicks out the card you put in there, so then it gets to throw for a 6 for 12 as your first attack. It feels really fun. I think he's better in water with all the cool stuff I get to do, like Tongue Whip. Same with Evil. He gets Tongue Whip. Tongue Whip is huge for this guy just to add like a few extra killing attacks. But yeah, I would put him right up. Nope, right up here, top of road. I think this guy is someone that can just kill people out of nowhere. You have to respect his damage. With Evil and Water having ways to help draw cards and get him going, I think at some point he can break up and do results. Alright, now we got Maggie. Maggie. Gosh, this is... Okay, let's go over it. So 6 hand size, 27 health, all chaos and order. Enhance. So attacks damage is an even number, gets +1 speed and +1 damage. Enhance. Attacks damage is an odd number, gets -1 speed and -1 damage. Response. Once per turn, commit 1 foundation. After you completely block your rival's attack, it does not clear during the end phase. So Maggie does a lot of cool things. Being able to help you pump your attacks and being able to help you minus your opponent's attacks. It's all good stuff. In order, you have a good way to set that up with self-sacrifice to help you get that -1 damage to make it to an even or odd number for what you need. My biggest problem with Maggie is just not doing a lot. So think like in all. In the all symbol, you have access to like Ojiro, who gets to throw +1/+1, +2/+2, +3/+3, and it's just +1 conditionally, and that's just not the best. You get to play better defense though than Ojiro, which is nice, but I just feel like, again, the problem with Maggie is just not doing quite enough. So I'm gonna put a Maggie down here in the locals. Alright, now we got... We'll do Ball Might first. Alright, so with this set, the provisional characters come out, and Ball Might is now finally legal. So we'll go over Ball Might here. We got a 6 hand size, 28 health, in all chaos and good. Enhance. Your range attack gets +2 speed. Response, once per turn your attack deals 6 more damage, draw 2 cards. Response, after you block an attack for the 3rd time this turn, commit your rival's character. So, a lot of cool stuff. Again, want to work on the range weapon attack. Chaos. Chaos is great for range, as we've seen with decks like Tokoyami, Midnight. The range keyword is a great home here. The thing here, I think, is doing anything better than those characters, and it's a hard press for me to find that. The response, once per turn after your attack deals 6 more damage, draw 2 cards. It's nice. If your attack is unblocked, as soon as you're doing 6 damage, drawing 2 cards is great. If you can trigger this, then you're going to be an 8-hander for that turn, and you get to do all funds and cool stuff. The biggest problem is making sure your attack can get through. But again, in Chaos, you have ways to pump your speed already. You have access to good 0 diffs and like basic training, easily excited. Ways to help push that through. And after you block an attack a 3rd time this turn, character. This response here, the times this will come up are slim, but when it does go off, it's hard pressed for you to not either A, stop your opponents attacking that turn, or B, crack them back for lethal. So a lot of characters require themselves for defense, like Eraserhead is a good example. Remember, you can commit Razorhead, you just kill them on the backswing. It's not even a contest. But being able to block through the things is what's going to be hard. So I think Ball Mike gets to go right in here in the logos tier. Alright, DLC Chibi characters time. Alright, this one came out not too long ago, so I haven't had as much time to play with these guys. But let's go over them. So we'll start off with Razorhead. He is a 5 hand sized, 29 health with the passive of your Eraserhead card to get -3 difficulty. So cards like himself, his character name with -3, so this is on a 2 for him to play. Enhance, your attack is +1 speed and +1 damage for each non-attack card in your card pool. Second time you play this attack this turn, your attack does not count for your next one. Doesn't count for progressive difficulty. This is a cool setup. Cool stuff to go on. The biggest problem here is you have to play non-attacks to get any value out of it. You don't have to, but you're not getting the speed and damage. So you can just go like attack, play this, attack, play this. Next attack is on progressive. Doesn't feel good though. But there's ways to cheat that in the DLC. They have. Let me pull it up here. Right here, All Might's mentorship. Cool thing here, this card does not count towards progressive difficulty play attacks. So being able to lead off with one of these, again, feels great. It helps you push your kill turn. The response here is great. There's a lot of cool stuff that can work here. With cards like that, with cards like Flex Your Might as well in the all symbol. There's a lot of cool stuff that can happen. I think my biggest problem here is the fact that you start off as a 5 hand sized 20 health. Sure, when you play a character, you get to draw 2 cards, Foundation. Biggest problem here is when you're playing a bunch of non-foundations, you're playing a bunch of non-attacks, and you only have 5 hand size. So it goes to awkward times where you don't draw any attacks or foundations on turn 1 or 2, and then you're just going to have a real hard start to the game and a real hard time coming back. So I think he gets to go in here in logos tier. I don't think he's complete garbage. Being able to, again, have a +0 mid block that'll draw you 2 cards to steal foundation. It's great when it happens. The biggest problem is just when it happens. Alright. Now we got my boy, my Funso. We got Midoriya 3. So this character has been tons of fun to test, tons of fun to play around with. In all the symbols. In Earth and Good, you have the great punch package that we know and love from Kirishima and Ojiro. And then in Order, we have all the fun kick stuff. Let's go over the card first, if I can tell you myself. So 6 hand size, 28 health, Earth, Good, and Order. Enhance. This kick or punch attack gets +1 damage for each character in your stage. Response. Once per turn. After you play a kick or punch attack, it gets Breaker 2 or Stun 2. Does not already have the keyword. Hits. Once per game, draw 1 card for each character in your stage. So this card has been so much fun to play with, so much fun to toy around with. Being able to throw out a back haymaker, stun for 2, and then throw out a hardened jab, stun for 2 more. Just tons of good play patterns. It feels fun to play. Being able to stun your opponent's board out, and then be able to punish them on the block as well. Like, hey, you have all these cool +1 highs, mids, lows. Well, let's add Breaker onto them to really push that through. It's really hard pressed for me to not hate anything here. Everything is great. Everything's a lot of fun. And once per game, drawing cards, great. Works for cards like Low with Nature, take a Smash to help fill you up. I think his weakest symbol is in Order in the kick package. I don't think there's enough draw to Order over like Good or Earth right now to warrant it. So, I'm going to put him... I think he goes in the rogue tier, but I'm going to put him up in the meta. He's been tons of fun to play with, and being able to breaker 2 almost every turn has been great for surviving against Ojuro or decks like to string out. Alright, now we got Bakugou. Katsuki Bakugou 3. 7 hand size, 19 health, death, evil, and fire. Enhanced. Discard 1 Bakugou card from your hand. Your attack gets +2 damage. You can remove 1 for your attack from your card pool. Enhance. Flip the foundations once per turn. Draw 2 cards. Only playable if you have less cards in your hand than your rival. Alright, let's get into this. I've been playing this guy a few times. I can see why he could be good. I can see someone making him really good. I haven't been able to do it personally. Being able to clear your card pool and get damage by discarding your character card you have feels great. Feels good. My biggest problem here is then again we're running a bunch of non-foundations, non-attacks, non-assets, non-actions, and is that worth it? Is that worth it to make my deck have a bunch of these for this kind of effect? I don't know. I don't think so, or at least I haven't been able to find a way to make it good yet. And then the enhance the flip functions once per turn to draw 2 cards. Only playable if you have less cards in your hand than your rival. Again, start off with a 7 hand size. This is going to be hard pressed to work unless you're able to do this enhance 1 or 2 times. And then again, I don't see it. Someone else out there somewhere might be able to break him for me, but I don't see it. I think he goes here. I think his 2 enhances being that restrictive just do for me. He feels like Dobby, where again he'll just die real fast. He puts damage on stuff. Again, for him it's only sometimes, whereas Dobby is all the time. I don't see it. I think he's garbage. Alright, now we got Shoto Todoroki 3. We got 7 hand size, 20 health, chaos, order, water, enhance. Discard 1 character card from your stage. Commit and freeze 1 malfunction. Enhance once per turn. This attack gets +X damage or -X damage. X equals number of your rival's committed foundations. Max of 5. So this is more of what I would like from cards like from Bakugou. In water, we get all the cool stuff from Twice's kit to help us get stuff built in our hand. Being able to discard character cards to commit and freeze foundations. Yeah, this stuff feels great. The biggest problem again is how often it's going to go off and work. How consistently it can go off. I like the fact that this character doesn't care about keywords. He doesn't care if it's range, fury, punch. He just says any card, any attack. Sure, will give us +6 damage or -6 damage. The fact that you can do both of these on your turn or your opponent's turn helps great. So I like him more than the other characters. I could put him up here. But for the most part, outside of Midoriya, a lot of the DLC just felt really lackluster. Maybe that's just me, but yeah, I could see these two swapping as well. But for me personally, I came here. Alright, so that's my tier list. That's how I've ranked them so far for my playtesting. If you found certain ways to break characters you think I rated something too high or too low, let me know in the comments. Thanks again for watching.
Thanks for watching another Maindeck video. Maindeck is sponsored by JW Sports Cards and Gaming. Visit jwwcards.com and by our amazing patrons. Get exclusive content and other cool perks on the Maindeck Patreon. And hey, while you're here, I bet you'd like one of these videos. Go ahead, click one. I know you're gonna love it.